Good morning, everybody. What are we? I think we're about 1:30. I'm not sure. Can't tell. Haven't got my watch on. Who knows what's going on? Yeah. So, what are we doing today, or tonight, or whatever you want to call it? I've just finished, literally, this new runner. So this is the second one of these I've done. Okay. You saw me working on it last week. So I'm now going to start ready number 3. I want to do 5 in total, and I'll put them all together as a quilt, was the idea. So what I did say last week at some point, I can't remember, was that I would do a circle the way that I do circles, so that you could see what goes on. So in the runner there's 8 circles, and then I think it's 57 Dresden or something like that. But I like the circles to all be of the same fabric, although none of them are big pieces. I've only got sort of small pieces like that of each of the fabrics that go together. So I need to make sure I can get 8 out of each colourway. So I'm not really, well, I might be able to with this one, there's a bit more space, fussy cutting. I'm just going colour, if that makes sense. So how I do things. What's that going to look like? That'll get most of that pink in. We can fussy cut that a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually place all my circles on the back of this bit of fabric. I need 8, as I say, to make sure that I'm going to have enough for each. I quite like that pale bit there. So we'll pop him in there. We might just get away with a straightforward run down each side with this one. It's a bigger piece than I realised. Yeah, there's loads. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm just going to cut a couple in that case. I'm not going to bore you with all the pinning. I'll just do 2 or 3 so that now I get a good 1/2 inch in between all of them. All right, because I need to allow at least 1/4 inch around the circle. Pair of scissors. I don't know how good these are, actually. They're not my best scissors. My other scissors are on the floor somewhere. There we go. So I'm just attacking. Is that the right? Yeah, it's just over 1/4 inch there. I've got my new glasses on again, and I still can't really judge things with them. There we go. So there's one. To move that other one over a bit. If you can see this well enough. What I want to show you really is how I tack them. Same as I do at Dresden. Basically. Move this one into the middle a bit more. A bit more space. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So, for those of you that follow and sort of know, got a wedding this Saturday, which is going to be great fun in Scotland. Yeah, so I've closed the shop and all the rest of it for the week. What's today? We're into Wednesday morning. Well, what happened was, we were supposed to go last Friday up to family and then drop down to different family for the wedding. Only my back went. And when my back goes, I can't do anything. So that was Friday morning, and we were supposed to be travelling Friday afternoon. So that was the end of Scotland at that point. So I've been sat here in Cornwall, the other end of the country, getting depressed about life, but my back is much better. So hopefully I'll be all right to start travelling later today. Right, so how do I do this? Pop it under your nail. I've got hardly any nails, so for those of you that say you've got no nails and can't do this, you can. Just do that a little bit. So pucker it underneath, grab, stitch. You can see I've used these papers several times. Pucker, hold it, stitch it. Pucker, hold it, stitch it, or pleat it, or whatever you want to call it. But if you stick it under your nail there and hold it, pull it back with the other one. As I say, just keep working in the same way right the way around the circle. So pucker it like that, hold it. You get a real nice edge then. Can you see that that's coming really smooth? So we go right the way around the circle, puckering it and holding it and stitching it, as I call it. You get into a bit of a routine with it. Okay, and you will get loads of stitches, don't worry. They're going to come out after anyway. This is the tacking. Oh, hello Jennifer. Sometimes the Facebooks tell me who's watching, sometimes it doesn't. Has its own thing going on. So yes, so what I was saying, so my back went on Friday. A lot of you may know, most of you probably don't, and there's no reason why you should. I have a real dodgy back. I've had for many years, and I have to be a little bit careful. So there's me trying to get something out of the van, sort of sorting the back of the van, because that's what we take to Scotland. And I literally just stretch slightly forward and ping, away we go. That's the end of that. So there's me, can hardly walk back. Fortunately, my walking stick was in the back of the van. I could reach that all right, just as well. Hobbled it back into the house, and that's where I've stayed until yesterday, basically. Not daring to move to start. It's not very good, and these little bouts can be a few days, they can be a few weeks. There's always a certain amount of pain that I live with that you ignore, so that's fine. But when it actually goes, and it's a lot of swearing on my behalf. So, where we should have gone to Scotland, as I say, on Friday, we're nowhere near it yet. Still in Cornwall. Hopeful that later today can travel a bit. I was moving about a little bit better yesterday, so hopefully we'll take our time. Cat sitters here, staying, thinking we weren't going to go at all. Because at one point there I did think, oh God, is this ever happening? But we're going to make it happen. It's only one day. We don't get to repeat weddings. Not in the right manner, anyway. So, this is probably boring now, as I'm carrying on around this circle. But it's what I do. I'll show you in a minute how I stitch it on. I can stitch it down and then I'll get the unpicker out and take it back off again. There we go. How to get a lovely circle with your EPPs. English paper piecing. Oh, Sharon, what are you doing awake, darling? You shouldn't be awake. You should be fast asleep, darling. Hopefully your back's not as bad as mine. I know you get issues as well, don't you? Yeah. Well, as you well know, we should be in Scotland, but we're not. I I shall be very grateful though if we get to go today. So, do you know, there's so many more far worse than I. Very frustrating though. Very frustrating. You have to think about everything you do all the time. How you move, how you lift, whatever you do, how you sneeze, everything. And the one time you start to feel better, and then you forget because you're feeling all right, and you go and do something stupid, which then puts you back out. I'm whinging again, folks. I'm sorry. I must stop whinging. It could all be far worse. Right, so here we go. You'll have seen all of those tiny little stitches. I'm just going over myself a little bit there just to hold it. Okay. So that's me circle. Take me pin out. I'm going to need that in a minute. Okay, so you've got a real good smooth edge, yeah? And you can probably see lots of puckers going on at the back. Now, normally I would then iron this, give it a real good press with the paper in, yeah? As it is, I'm not getting up to an iron because I'm here, sat, doing. And then I'm just going to applique on the back of this just for the hell of it so that I can show you what I was on about the other night. I think it was Wanda that was asking. Okay, so I'm pinning it on where I want it. So that would technically be with, there we go, yeah? So like that. Right, so that's that. So needle, where's my needle? There's my needle. Pin your circle where you need it. Now the paper's still in on mine. This is just how I do it. Everybody finds your own way of working. Right. So place it onto your fabric wherever it is you're going to applique. If I come up out of here a little bit. So from underneath I've come out into the fold of the fabric there. Okay, so hold that nicely. Part of this is getting it exactly flat on your background fabric, otherwise it looks a mess. If needs be, use several pins. What does it matter? Just so as I'm showing you, I'm going to put more pins in. There we go. Right, so that's not going anywhere, and the background is flat, yeah? It's very important that your background is flat. Just this slightly, you might be able to see more. There we go, sorry about that. So I've come out in the fold. My stitch is there, so I go fraction back underneath where I came out, and then run it along the back of the paper and out that fold again. Hopefully you can see that. And then that stitch disappears underneath. So where you were, fraction under, back out along the paper. There we go. While the paper's still in, all right? And then this way you get a real good edge to follow. And what we're going to do is stitch right the way around. And then just before you get to the end, so about an inch or so before you get to the edge of your circle, you stop. Take your tacking and your paper out and then finish off. And therefore you get a really good, nice circle. Alright, by hand. Fraction under behind, back out on the edge. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And yeah, there's several of us awake tonight, isn't there? Never mind. My thought was I'm laying there. I got the first couple of hours, no problem, sleep tonight. And then I thought, sod this. Get up, do a bit of stitching. And then go back again. My sleep pattern's completely off now because of my back problem. I found that I've been snoozing in the day because I can't move or do anything. And then I'm not sleeping right at night. Hopefully, once we start travelling later today, that will tire me out at the right times so that I sleep better for the next few nights. So yeah, just carry on round. If for any reason you've got a little pointy bit when you're coming round, how I get rid of that, although these aren't too bad, I would come out, excuse me, as I'm going under and coming out, I would come out in the point, like so, and then you go under behind like normal, and then you pull that point in and under with you, which gets rid of any sticky out bits. I'm probably not explaining anything new to anybody, but it's how I get nice curves. When I'm doing the Dresdens in the runner, I do take the papers out. Give them a real good iron first, take the papers out, and then I applique them. Because there's so many, you could do it with the paper in, but where you've got them all attached to each other, it can become an issue. But where you've got a completely separate circle, like this, you can just whiz around. And the paper really, really helps because you're running your needle along the back of the paper and out on the right edge. So your stitch disappears completely. Right, so we're coming towards the end here. I'm just going to do a few more stitches and then we'll take the paper out and finish off. Okay. There we go. Right, you can see the bit there that I've got left. Couple more stitches. What I'm going to do is take the pins out. Make sure that it's flat on the background. Yeah. Oh look, I've got a bit of a ding coming up there. Let's see if we can get rid of that. I can show you. So that's the stitch before it. So I'm going under behind, come out on that point. Yeah. And then your next stitch, you're going to go right under again. And then just gently pull that in. So you get rid of your little sticky out bit. It's cool. Right, so I've got a nice about an inch there. Then I'm going to take the tacking and paper out. If I can figure out, oh dear, look. Oh, that looks like the end there. Which way around? It's not going to be that way, it's going to be that way. There we are. I've got an unpicker somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So pin's the next best thing. I like big pins. I always keep a big pin handy for quilting or unpicking or whatever. Love a big pin. There we are. You can feel it coming out through the card. And the card I use is like I want to say like birthday card thickness. Because it's still flexible enough, but rigid enough that you can stitch through it without any hassle. And it works for doing like this. There we are. Right, so now I've got my finger in there. There's the paper. And then I'm going to fiddle that paper out, like so. Alright. And then make sure that that tacks back under. Remember, you iron this before you start doing this, but it's only that obviously I'm demoing and not got an iron in the middle of the night, so I don't like irons at the best of time, let alone in the middle of the night. Oof. Ironing's horrible. Right, so there we go. And then you just carry on as you were and finish your circle. And that's how I get my nice circles with my EPP or my applique, whatever you want to call it. You can use this method at any time. What you could do, depending on how much fabric you've got, see, I would then come to the other side and just finish off. Do that quickly. It's a bit daft. I'm going to take it all out again, but hey ho. Right, there we are. So there's your circle on a nice flat background. Hopefully looking quite good. Yeah. Another way you could do it is if you did a running stitch all around the outside edge and draw it up like you would a yo-yo so that it all comes in. That will work. I find it too fiddly for me. I prefer just to have my tacking around to do my circles. But there's different ways of getting it as accurate as you possibly can. Alright, so that's how I do those. Now I can unpick that one as well. Oh, there we are. Oh, this is going to be fun. I can't really see it. Where did I start and finish? That was a bit daft, wasn't it? I was on autopilot, busy showing. No, that's not it. Is that it? Oh dear. I can't find it. Scissors. Don't need to put a hole in this fabric because I need it in a minute for my other circles, don't I? There we go. There we are. And it's off. What I don't also want to do is distort this fabric. So we'll just take our time. And I should have found a different colour thread, shouldn't I? That would have been easier. Hindsight's a fabulous thing in the middle of the night. Excuse me. So whilst I've been sat on my bum doing nothing for several days, so what's that, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, today's Tuesday, sort of 5 days got wiped out of my life this last week. But all these different things have gone through my head design-wise. And then I find it incredibly frustrating because I can't even go and do them. I shouldn't have been here anyway. I should have been in Scotland. And then the next best thing is, well, okay, what can I do with my time? And the only thing I've been able to do with my time is some stitching like this. And it has to be said, concentration hasn't been there very well for that. But I've got all these other designs in my head now. And I want to go and do them. And of course I can't because I'm going away now. I haven't got enough time in the day now. Excuse me. There's all sorts of things I now want to do. Fishy one. I've got a fishy one stuck in my head. I've had sort of hankering to do a fish one for a long while. But I actually sat and sorted out the details of how to do it and what it's going to look like. So I don't know if anyone saw on the live that I did the other day on the Three Amigos live. I was doing fabric packs. So I think there were 10 blacks, 10 greys, 10 whites. Well, some of you may know that I actually do pre-cuts, as you want to call them, that are 10 inches by 3 inches. And so I had this amazing idea to cut a pack, excuse me, 32 fabrics, one of each, blacks through to whites and creams. I guess you won't be at Malvern this year then, if your back's bad. Oh, Andy, I'll be there, don't you worry about that, darling. I'm off, as I say, I'm hopefully off to Scotland later today. I'll be there. I'm very fortunate in so much as I have help. Where I don't know if anybody's ever noticed at shows, you'll always see me with someone. Because of back injury, I always make sure I have what I call able assistants. Some of my friends help me. And Malvern's sister-in-law's coming to help me. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to do an awful lot of lifting and the like. But I know that she will help me. And to be fair, other traders will always lend a hand just to sort of get me unloaded. The boys from Grosvenor very often will help. It's a normal thing. Those that know me help me. And it happens far more often than anybody would realise. Because I normally keep it to myself. And it's only because it's been so frustrating the last few days not to be where I should. Thank you. Yes, I'm very pleased to be going, Andy. And it's another couple of weeks away, so hopefully another couple of weeks better again. And I've got to go because I'm judge coordinator. I'm their chief judge, so I have to be there. I go a day early, and then the judges and myself will get all the competitions sorted out and marking, scorings and all that sort of stuff, and then make sure everybody that is due gets all that sort of stuff. My job's to keep it all impartial and make sure everything's done fairly. So yeah, I can't miss Malvern. I might be a bit slower than normal, but I won't miss that. I'm very fortunate, very fortunate. Lots of people help me when needed. For all I am very appreciative of. Yeah, so I'm going to do up a pack of pre-cuts, all black, whites, greys, 32 different fabrics, 10 by 3, which gives you a fabulous array of fabric to be working with. So I want to get those cut so that I can then do this. I've got this fish quilt in my brain, using those and a packet of those that are bright. I quite like these packs, and they work so well for the different designs of mine, so quite looking forward to doing that. But of course, for a minute, even though I'm feeling more like it, I can't go out because I won't be there. I shall be on the road. Yeah, very fortunate to be able to. I don't know if I'll be able to drive. I did try yesterday down into town, which didn't seem too bad. I've got an automatic now, which helps life. The one leg that I get the severe pain in, I don't have to use then. So, we'll see. Paul's with me, hubby. It being a wedding and all that. So, we'll just take our time and poodle up there. Fortunately, being a bank holiday, we've got the Sunday, Monday to poodle back again. Right, there we are. See, it doesn't take that long to tack around. I mean, obviously this one was all folded in already, so it's gone in a bit quicker. But for the amount of effort involved of tacking this, you get such a good finish. It's got to be done. Got to be done. I know my mate Margaret always does it this way. She does the most tiniest tiddly little things. There we go. So there's one ready. As I say, I need 8 circles and 57 Dresden petals. So they'll all... I've got them all cut. I've been sat quietly cutting here over the last couple of days. So I'll take that all with me to Scotland so that if I'm awake and I need something to be doing, I've got something to be doing. I know it's pretty boring because all you generally see is me doing this, but I am on a mission to get this quilt done. Yeah. As I say, even if you've not got a nail, you can see how oh, breaking my thread. Yeah, that's really good, isn't it? Let's have a new bit of thread then. And then carry on again. Yeah, so I shall take some of this with me in case I get time to do. But I don't know that there'll be a lot of time. I had my email with my instructions and what's going on and when's it's going on each day and who's going to be where and what. Which actually is quite nice because, alright, I know where we are, but anybody attending the wedding that maybe doesn't know the area or what's going on, it's all laid out. Who's going to be where, when, if you want to join in or what you want to do. Makes life so much easier. Yeah, so much easier. So yeah, I was actually really very grateful for this email giving me my instructions for the next few days. Where to find which member of the family when. So it's going to be really cool. Not seen some of them for a few months. And then the other side of the family, so Paul's side of the family, also in Scotland. We should have visited them over the weekend. Obviously we've not, so that'll have to get put off till later in the summer now. I think I just put a knot in that. Did I put a knot in that? Yes, I think I did. How did I do that? That was very silly. Do-de-do. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I have to say I'm also very thankful for some very lovely painkillers that I get for nerve pain. So that's been really helpful. We like drugs that work. No alcohol, though. But there we are. It is what it is. Look how cool. Apparently it's going to be a nice day tomorrow. So I've just checked the forecast for where we'll be in Scotland for Saturday for the wedding, and it's got a 65% chance of rain. I'm not happy about that for them because it should be an outside ceremony. That'll be devastating if they can't. I mean, it's all planned inside if necessary, but it would be so nice to. It's on the first tee of the local golf club. Something a little bit different and most stunning views. So I'll be very upset for them if we don't get a nice little bit of weather there. Yeah, so what else is going on? Yeah, so Malvern prep. I'm no further behind than I would have been because I wouldn't have been here. It's got a few new kits, a few new sets of fabric. As I say, I'm going to do the black and whites into small pre-cuts because I think that's going to work really well. I don't know if I'll get the sample done beforehand. Do you know, I think my whole display this year is going to be quilt tops that aren't finished, as in aren't quilted. Quilt tops finished, but no quilting done on them. I've got a pile that's growing. Off to bed now. Yeah, night, Andy. Sleep well, darling. Sleep well. I'll see you at Malvern, if not before. There we go. Right, where are we? What sort of time? Yeah, it's getting on again. I'm just going to finish this one. And then off to bed is probably a good thing. We should all be off to bed. Sharon, I hope you're feeling all right, darling. You gone back to bed yet? Dee-dee-dee. There we are. You get into a bit of a rhythm with this. As I say, I've got no nails, so it's just as easy to do without nails as it is with. Sometimes, as you can see, I just loop round if it makes it easier. Makes no odds. It's all tacking that's going to come out anyway. It's getting it smooth is the thing. Always go for your pucker and get it smooth on the edge. Mm-hmm. There we are. Right, just about done. And then I'm going to call it a night because you've probably had enough of me whittering and whinging in your ear rolls. There we go. As you can see, got right to the end here now on this one. Go over a couple of times. Oh dear, my stomach's growling. Oh, broke the thread. See, that thread is very many years old. YLI, soft touch, but yeah, it's a very old one. No good for anything other than tacking. If your thread's breaking easy like that, just get rid of it. There's no point hanging on to, unless it is for something such as tacking. Right, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me. That's how I do my circles and how I applique them on. How to get your really good edge. Right, so nice and soft. I will see you on the next one, as they say. As and when that will be, I don't know. It could be from Scotland. I'll be on Sunday morning, halfway up a mountain, for Three Amigos Facebook Live. All right. So hopefully you'll be getting a good view. I'll show you where we are again. You've seen it before, when I've been up there before. So there's that one. So I've got 2 of them done now. 3 more to do. Okay. Going to say good night, everybody. Be lovely. Night, night.